The medical bay of the Calathern Vengeance smelled of copper and antiseptic, a combination that made the young warriors shift uneasily on their haunches. 3 Calathran cubs barely passed their first molt crowded around the observation window, their scales rippling with agitation as they watched the human inside. Myra Solon sat on the examination table, her left arm hanging at an unnatural angle. Blood soaked through the makeshift bandage she'd wrapped around the plasma burn on her shoulder, the fabric already turning dark crimson. Her face was pale, sweat beading on her forehead, but her expression remained calm as Ravrek, the ship's medical officer, approached with his instruments. "She should be roaring," hissed the smallest cub, his ear frills flaring orange with confusion. "My sire says humans are apex predators. Predators show their fangs when wounded." The eldest cub, barely taller than her siblings, pressed her clawed hand against the transparasteel. "Perhaps she is broken inside. Perhaps the pain has stolen her voice." Inside the bay, Ravrek's massive form moved with surprising gentleness as he scanned the injured human. His species, the Calithrans, stood nearly 8 feet tall, their bodies covered in interlocking scales that could deflect most small arms' fire. They were warriors born, raised in a culture where strength was measured in scars and survival. "This will cause discomfort," Ravrek rumbled, his voice like stones grinding together. He held up a bone fuser, its blue light casting shadows across his angular features. Myra nodded, her jaw tightening almost imperceptibly. "Do what you need to do." The cubs watched as Ravrek began working on the broken arm. The bone fuser's energy field crackled as it realigned the fracture, a process known to cause excruciating pain even to Calathran warriors. They waited for the human to scream, to lash out, to bare her teeth in challenge. Instead, Myra breathed slowly, deliberately. Her free hand gripped the edge of the table, knuckles white, but she made no sound. Her eyes remained open, focused on some distant point beyond the medical bay's walls. "Unnatural," muttered the middle cub. "She does not honor her pain with rage." The eldest cub's frills flickered thoughtfully. "Perhaps we should ask her why." Before the others could stop her, she keyed the intercom. Her voice, still high with youth, echoed into the medical bay. "Human Myra, why do you not snarl? Are you not in pain?" Ravrek's hand froze mid-procedure, his eyes widening in mortification. "Cubs!" "You should not—" But Myra lifted her good hand, a small smile crossing her lips despite the obvious agony. "It's okay, Ravrek." She turned toward the window, though she couldn't see the cubs through the one-way transparasteel. "I am in pain. Quite a lot of it, actually." "Then why?" The eldest cub's voice trembled with genuine confusion. "Why do you not show your fury?" "My instructors say that pain and rage are the same fire. To feel one is to express the other." Myra was quiet for a moment, letting Ravrek continue his work. When she spoke again, her voice carried a weight that made even the massive medical officer pause. "Pain and rage are not the same thing. Pain is just ... information. It tells me something is wrong, that I need to be careful, that I need help. But rage?" She shook her head slightly. "Rage is a choice." The smallest cub pressed closer to the window. "I do not understand. When I snarl and scream, when I let pain turn into anger, it doesn't make the hurt go away," Myra explained, her breathing still controlled despite Ravrek working on the plasma burn now. "It just adds more fire to carry. And I've learned that when you're trying to survive, you need to choose which fires to feed." The middle cub's scales rippled blue, the color of deep thought among his people. "But our elders teach that showing pain is showing weakness. That we must transform suffering into strength through battle fury." "Your elders are warriors," Myra said gently. "And they've survived because of their strength? But there are different kinds of strength." She gestured with her injured arm, now properly set and bandaged. "I've been to 17 worlds. I've seen ecosystems that would kill a Calathran warrior in minutes, not through combat, but through patience. I've negotiated with species that would consider your battle rage a mental illness. I've survived situations where one moment of uncontrolled anger would have meant death for everyone." Ravrek had stopped working entirely now, his attention fixed on the human. In all his cycles serving aboard Calathran vessels, he had never heard anyone speak to cubs this way, with such directness about concepts that challenged the very foundation of their culture. "Humanity taught me something," Myra continued, her voice growing stronger despite her injuries. We're persistence hunters. We're not the strongest or the fastest. We're not the most armored or the most venomous, but we endure, we adapt. And sometimes the greatest strength is choosing not to let pain control us. The eldest cub's frills had gone completely still, a sign of intense concentration. You are saying that we can feel pain without becoming it? Exactly, Myra's smile widened. Pain is a passenger, not the pilot. It's there, it's real, but it doesn't have to steer the ship. The medical bay fell silent except for the soft hum of equipment. Ravrek resumed his work, but something had shifted in the air. When he finished and stepped back, Myra slid off the table, testing her repaired arm carefully. "Thank you, Ravrek," she said, then turned back toward the hidden cubs. "And thank you for asking. Never stop asking questions. That's another kind of strength, the courage to challenge what you've been taught." The three cubs remained at the window long after Myra had left, their scales cycling through colors their instructors had no names for. The eldest finally spoke, her voice thoughtful. "The human carries her wounds like a warrior, but does not let them make her one. Is that not ... strange?" "Strange," agreed the smallest, "but perhaps ... dies." The middle cub said nothing, but his frills flickered the deep purple of profound realization. Somewhere in the corridors of the Calathran Vengeance, a human walked with fresh scars and steady steps, unaware that she had just planted seeds of a revolution in the minds of three young predators who had learned that perhaps, just perhaps, there was more than one way to be strong. And in the medical bay, Ravrek carefully filed his report, noting that the human's pain tolerance remained exceptional and that he had observed no aggressive behavioral responses despite significant trauma. But in the margins, where such things were never written, he added a single line in his native script. "Perhaps we have much yet to learn from those who snarl less loudly."